setting up your email is probably one of the most important things we can do inside of the marketing CRM. Now, there's two mindsets when it comes to emails. You can sync your own personal email in here, two-way sync, right, with Gmail Outlook, which works great for daily communications. However, you can also attach marketing emails to this, which is more or less designed for volume email marketing engagement outreach, right? So there are two distinct paths. We're going to go over how to set them both up because I think it's important that you set both of them up. Now, the first one we're going to go over is your engagement marketing style email. This is where you might bring in a list and you want to engage people, put them on campaigns. That's what this is for, okay? And we're going to walk through how to set that up to make sure it's set up correctly and your emails land in your users' inboxes. The next thing we're going to set up is I'm going to show you how to easily sync your personal email, Gmail, Outlook, two-way sync, okay? So for step number one, we're going to come into your dashboard. On the left-hand side, we're going to click on settings. And under settings, we're going to come down here to email services. You're going to click email services. And if you notice, it's encouraging you to set up a dedicated domain. This is exactly what we want to do. Okay. By setting up a dedicated domain, it's going to make sure your emails land inside of inboxes. So you're going to hit create dedicated domain. And the next thing it's going to ask you to do is enter in a domain information. This is where you're going to enter in your domain. So I've been using a domain called thesampledomain.com. Okay. I entered my domain. Now, here's the thing. You don't want to use just this domain because if you use this domain and you send out a lot of emails and it gets flagged for spam, this entire domain is going to be affected. So what we do is we create subdomains for you. That way, if your domain is ever, your domain will never be hurt. It's just your subdomain that gets hurt, and you can always swap those out, right? It's for mainly email marketing engagement. So in front of your domain, what you're going to do is you're going to add some characters, like for example, test.thesampledomain, or you can use mail.thesampledomain. See, I'm just adding a word dot and then my domain name. That's called a subdomain. So you can add anything in here from Joe.thesampledomain, right? Which I'm actually going to use that because that's clearly a fake one. So I have my word in front, dot thesampledomain. And by the way, it can be single characters. It can be like m.thesampledomain or mg or email. It can be anything you want to, right? So I have my subdomain created. I'm going to hit add and verify. Now it's going to confirm that this is the domain you want to use. You're going to come in here and hit yes, continue. This is what I want to use. What it's going to do now is it's going to generate the DNS records you need to add inside your provider. Now, when I talk about DNS records, I'm talking about inside of your GoDaddy account or whoever you bought your domain from. You're going to go into that account and you're simply going to add DNS records. You're going to add 2 TXT, 1 CNAME, 2 MX records. It literally tells you what to do, copy, and paste. Now, to make this easy, we're actually going to do this one together. So I'm going to open up my GoDaddy account, and I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to find the domain that I own. I'm going to hit DNS. So if you're in Google or any type of other domain provider, you want to find your DNS settings, and you want to add or edit records. In this case, I'm going to click Add Record. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to select the record, and I'm simply going to copy and paste the name and the value and hit Save. And I'm going to do that each time for each one of these. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to copy the TXT record. I'm going to copy the CNAME. I'm going to copy MX. I'm going to add it all. We're going to do this together real quick. Okay, here we are in GoDaddy. So I'm going to come in here and we're going to go to add the first one, which is TXT. We're going to copy and we are going to paste. We're going to come in here to the value and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to paste and we're going to hit save. Okay, now pretty much every time it's going to ask you double check, just hit yes. It's going to format it in the way that it is best. Okay, so we added one. We're going to come in here, add the other one now. We're going to go TXT again. So TXT, we're going to paste. And then the value, which I'm copying, is going to be pasted. We hit save. We're going to verify it again. And now we're going to add our next record, which is a CNAME. So we're going to come in here, do CNAME. We're going to copy the name. We're going to copy the value. And we're going to hit save. And now we're going to do our last two, which are MX records. Now, MX records are a little bit different, right? And this is why I wanted to show you this. On MX records, we're going to do the same thing. Copy the name. Copy the value. But notice it asks for a priority. Always type in a 10. Whether you're any system user, just type in a 10, hit save. And then last but not least, we're going to add one more MX record in here. So we're going to bounce down. We're going to come MX. We're going to copy our last names in here, our last value, and we're going to type in 10 once again, and we're going to hit save. Now, we have successfully added all 5 records that it gave us in here, okay? So now what we're going to do is go back into the CRM, and we're going to verify it. Here we are. We're back in the CRM. These are all the records that I just added, so we're going to hit verify. It's actually going to run and check it out and validate these. Now, don't be alarmed if the first time you run it, they're not verified. Sometimes it takes just a couple of seconds. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hit verify again. And look, they're all verified now. Okay? So the domain has been completely verified. And it's actually going to ask you to verify it in a couple of places, right? So the domain has been completely verified. We're going to come back up to your dedicated domains up here. And here it is. Here's the one that we just added, joe.thesampledomain. Now, I need to verify it in here also. Okay? So I'm just going to hit verify one more time. Notice it's all verified again. I'm going to hit verify one more time. Yes, it is a little redundant, but look, now we are verified, we are active, and it's checked as your default sending domain. So as long as it is active and it's checked, now you have a default email domain that can send emails, marketing campaigns, automation, everything, and it'll be protected, and we can make sure it goes into the inbox to your consumers. Okay, so that is how you add domain number 1, which is for marketing and engagement. Now, I know a lot of users, myself included, that's pretty much the only way I use email is just this, okay? But if you are wondering if you would like to sync up your Gmail domain to this or your Outlook for two-way sync, I'm actually going to show you how to do that really quick in the next video. So check it out. But as long as you get your dedicated domain in here and you're active, you're good to go. Now, we're going to wrap this up by just doing a quick little check here, okay? So I'm going back to my dashboard, my home page here. I'm going to click on settings. I'm going to go back to my email services and check it out. The default provider is joe@thesampledomain.com. Done. We are set. You are good to go. So this is a very, very important step. It'll maybe take you 5 minutes to do it, but this is crucial to ensure that your emails end up in the correct inboxes.